What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL. And this is a completely unplanned video about one man and one man only, Kevin De Bruyne. Everyone on Twitter is going insane at the moment. Kevin De Bruyne has just been announced as unavailable for the Arsenal game, and Pep said that he'll probably miss a couple of games after that. So I think everyone's panicking now on who to buy. Should we take a hit? Is it okay to swap £11.5 million midfielder for a £6 million midfielder? Like, there's people with wild cards that now have no idea what to do. Kevin De Bruyne's price is going to drop tomorrow. So what we're going to do is go through a couple of options, and hopefully it might help you in your decision on what to do for tomorrow. So yeah, as I said, there's not really any sort of plan with this. We're just going to kind of go through my thinking and some of the challenges people might have. So yeah, let's get on with it. First thing, I think a lot of people are kind of panicking about. When you swap one of your most expensive players in your team, it's usually something you think about for quite a while. This instance, you've only got a day, and unfortunately, most of the guys that are around the same price are kind of injured, unavailable. You might already have them in your team. So just looking at the midfielders in fantasy football this year in order of value, like, as you can see, five of the top nine, there's a good chance they don't play. You may have at least two of the other four. So yeah, let's have a look. So Salah, look, if you can afford him and you don't have him, put him in. Turn this video off. Enjoy your weekend. Most people have him though. Aubameyang, like, do you really want to put Aubameyang in your team? Like, not only is he not guaranteed to play because he's an injury doubt, Arsenal's next three games: Man City, Leicester, Man United. Aubameyang's also not been playing that well, not getting that many points. So again, I'm crossing him off my list. Sadio Mane, another injury doubt. Now, if he was guaranteed to play, you might consider just swapping him in if you could afford it. Liverpool don't have the easiest next couple of fixtures, but it's Liverpool, right? So again, you consider it. Personally, I'm not sure. Liverpool won't have him tomorrow. I think he's probably going to start against Everton. I think the COVID kind of 2-week period is long gone now. So, well, not long gone, but it's definitely passed. So I think he probably will play. So he's definitely an option. But again, it's still a bit of a gamble that he might not get a game. You might take a 4-point loss and get no points for it. Raheem Sterling. Now, Pep mentioned who was injured, and he didn't mention Raheem Sterling. So I think you can potentially take the risk that he's going to start this weekend against Arsenal. So if I was considering just doing a like-for-like swap, I'd probably lob Sterling in. Now, what you need to worry about is City's next 5 fixtures. They've got Arsenal, then they've got West Ham and Sheffield United away. So West Ham are obviously like an informed team at the moment. It's not necessarily a team I'd be comfortable playing away, thinking I'm going to get loads of points. They've then got Liverpool and Tottenham. So the next 5 games, I don't know if you want to own too many City assets. Now, obviously, there's merit in thinking that City are always going to get points. So, sure, if you just want a like-for-like swap, lob Sterling in and hopefully everything will be all right. Next 2 lads are United players. Personally, I'm not touching United players at all. I think, like, for at least the next few weeks, I want to just see what's going on. So, United's next 4 fixtures: Newcastle away, Chelsea, Arsenal, Everton. I'm just not putting any United players in my team for the next 4 weeks. So it kind of leaves us then looking at the Tottenham lads. Now, I've already got Son. So if you don't have Son, swapping De Bruyne out for Son is going to be the easiest decision of the season. Again, if you've got Son not in your team, take De Bruyne out, lob Son in, happy days. For those of us that already have some, Gareth Bale. Now, Mourinho's just said that Bale is fit and ready to play. Like, the problem is Mourinho. Like, how much do you trust him? I don't know. Like, he's the master of mind games. Like, he'd probably say that he was ready to play even if he was going to be out for another month. So potentially worth the risk. It's definitely something I'm considering taking the gamble. Now, one of the big problems with that is if you lob Gareth Bale in, it really is a bit of a punt. Like, if you're only doing it if you've already got Son. Do you really want 2 of Spurs attacking midfielders? I'm not sure. And you're probably going to want to keep him in for several weeks if you're going to commit to put him in. So yeah, I'm not sure about whether or not any of these top 9 or the top 8 replacements for De Bruyne are too viable, my own personal opinion. So I don't think I'm going to be going for any of these lads. If I had to go for one, probably Gareth Bale, but I'm not too comfortable with that. So let's have a look at some of the fixtures coming up. So if you decide we can't replace him for one of the higher value players, another strategy might be, let's swap him for a 6, 7, 8 million pound midfielder, have 3 to 5 million in the bank, regroup, and then next week we'll upgrade one of our 5.5 million pound midfielders or attackers. Potentially, that's quite a good strategy. I think it's one I might employ. So let's have a look at the players we might consider. So if you look at my last few videos, I've been talking about Crystal Palace's fixtures. They've got like 8 or 9 really good fixtures coming up. I think there's a lot of merit behind putting Wilfried Zaha in your team. Now, he's only 6.5 million. He's going to leave you 5 million in the bank. So you wouldn't want to not use that. Like, you want to use that sooner rather than later. So I think if I was going to pick any of the budget midfielders and want to save maximum money, I think Zaha probably would be seriously considered. Tottenham, again, we've just discussed that Gareth Bale could potentially go in. You could potentially do a double transfer and maybe put Kane in and get a budget midfielder. So yeah, Tottenham's fixtures, they look all right. So it's definitely worth considering putting a Tottenham player in, or another Tottenham player if you've obviously already got Son. Fulham, they've got good fixtures, but what's the point even wasting our time talking about them? They've got the 3rd easiest fixtures on paper, but again, like, I'm not going to recommend putting any Fulham players in. Brighton, again, like, what? You're just not going to replace Kevin De Bruyne with a 5.5 pound midfielder. You could potentially use some of their midfielders enablers. Like, you could, I guess, put in Harry Kane and Basuma, let's say, something random like that. Would mean you'd need to use 2 transfers, so you might be taking a -8. Chelsea, big problem with Chelsea is that Havertz and Pulisic, the 2 lads I'd probably consider. Havertz hasn't had that much involvement in any of the first games in terms of attacking returns. And Pulisic, he's still, what did he get, 7 minutes in Chelsea's last game, the win against Palace? You can't be guaranteed he's going to get 90 minutes yet. So, again, personally, I'm ruling out Chelsea players. And look, West Brom, same bag as Brighton. Maybe you could put Pereira in, get Harry Kane as well. That's another thing worth considering. So skipped ahead there. So you've got a bit of a preview of what the last slide is going to be. But just looking at here, so if I was going to, I've already said it in an earlier slide, but if I was going to go with anything, I'd probably consider going with Gareth Bale and then maybe Sterling as the alternative. Between one of these 2 lads is who I'd probably be subbing in. Now, the reason I've got Jack Grealish in there is because I think a lot of people are considering putting Grealish in anyway. Now, Aston Villa have a nice run of fixtures. They're on form with Everton. They've won all their games. So it's also a nice enabler. So if you lob Grealish in, take out a £7 million striker, you can lob Harry Kane in. So yeah, that's worth considering as well. The main thing you need to think about is, do you want to take a -8 point hit? Personally, it's not what I want to do at this stage, which leads us on to, again, the last page there. I just don't think you should panic. Personally, I think I'm edging on the side of not making a sub. So I've used my 2 free transfers. Do I want to take a 4-point hit? I don't think I do. I might regroup, watch what happens this weekend, and make the transfer next week. Now, I've got some sort of options on the bench, but I'm not guaranteed to even have 11 players playing now. So yeah, so whatever you do, I guess the message is don't panic. Everything will be okay. Yeah, and sure, it might just be a big joke, and then we turn up for the Arsenal City game and see Kevin De Bruyne running out and scoring a hat-trick. So yeah, so that was a quick video. Now, a bit more disorganized than the rest of my videos. As I said, I didn't put any planning in. There was no notes on this. I was kind of just thinking as I was going ahead. So if you did enjoy that that rant, I guess you could say, hit that subscribe button, and we'll be back with more after the weekend.